How can you turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros in 6 days thanks to patience? Hi snipers, it's Alex. We're back in this video to see together how to turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros in 6 days without any special technique, without any magic indicator, without a trading robot or anything like that. It is possible to turn a small amount of capital into large sums. I've done it and many others have done it too. And all the traders who say yes, but that's impossible, you need 1,000 euros, you need 5,000 euros, you need 10,000 euros. All of that is nonsense, all right? All of that is just bullshit. They're simply people who don't have the right tools or the right methods that would allow them to turn small profits into big ones. All right, there's nothing magical about it, okay? There's nothing extraordinary. If I was able to do it, you can do it too. You just need to have the right tools, the right methods, and then you can achieve absolutely anything you want. If you can turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros, then you can turn 1,000 into 10,000. Most people have this problem. As soon as they see that they need to put in 1,000 or 5,000 euros, either they give up or they put in those 1,000 or 5,000 euros but barely make anything or even lose all their money. I'm going to show you how simple it is to do this with Ichimoku, which is a very well-known indicator, and it's free. Most traders say it's impossible to achieve this feat. First, I'm going to show you that it's possible, and second, that it's very fast because I did it in 6 days. Okay, let's go. There are 3 things you need to know to turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros. The first thing is to follow the trend. Okay, always follow the trend. The trend is the river that will lead you to the path of money. Okay, when you follow the trend, you can be sure that at some point, if you stick with it, you're 90% sure you won't make a mistake in your analysis. So that's super important. First, follow that damn trend, okay? How do you recognize it with Ichimoku? Quite simply, thanks to its clouds. Okay. When these clouds are green, that means it's an uptrend. When they're red, it's a downtrend. When the clouds are also below the price and rising, it's an uptrend. When the clouds are red, it's a downtrend. All right, it's as simple as that. There's nothing complicated about it. So there you have it. With Ichimoku, you can easily determine and see the trend, start sniping the markets, and achieve big results. If I'm showing you why I turned 50 into 1,000 euros, it's because most people either don't know how to do it, give up, or tell themselves, I need 5,000, 10,000 euros in capital. That's not true. All right. Those who tell you that are either idiots or dishonest. Okay. There are people who aren't snipers. These are people who don't know trading, because in Forex, anything is possible. Okay. Secondly, you need to know how to snipe. You need to know how to position yourself at the right moment. All right. When do you place a position? Well, quite simply at the close of the candle. Why at the close of the candle? Because you have to wait. The key word in trading is the opposite of being an employee, all right? With a salaried job, you have to work fast to make a little money. Trading Forex is the opposite. You have to wait to make a lot, all right? It's that simple. The more patient you are, the more it becomes a strength that will allow you to earn profits. All right, when do you enter a position when trading the trend? Well, at the close of the candle, quite simply. That means you wait. If you're on an H4 chart, for example, you wait the 4 hours to see if the candle will give you a signal. You shouldn't rush in trading. So the second reason is that you have to wait. The longer you wait to enter, the more money you'll make. All right. The system absolutely does not want you to trade. Why? Because it tells you to go scalping, to never wait, to make profits quickly. But look, in 6 days, is 6 days supposed to be long term? Does 6 days seem unbearable to you to turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros of capital? No. So you need to reconsider your expectations, in the sense that long-term simply means waiting 6 days. Long-term in people's minds means waiting months, years, and so on. That's not true. All right, you just need to wait a few days, from the end of 1 day up to a week at most, and in a week, 6 days, 50 euros. When you turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros, once you have the 1,000 euros, you turn it into 10,000, then 10,000 into 20,000, and after that, you just wait for the money to come in because you have the right amount of capital. Anyway, the third thing to turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros thanks to Ichimoku. So to recap, it's about following the trend. Okay, we recognize it thanks to the clouds. Secondly, you enter your position, you enter at the candle's close. And thirdly, what do? You apply money management. Now for money management, a lot of people recommend 1%, 2%. All that is total crap. Why? Because you'll just be taking crumbs. If we come to the Forex markets, it's not to take crumbs, okay? It's to take the whole cake. The elites only leave us the crumbs. The system only leaves us the crumbs. What we're going to do is take the whole cake. However, I'm not going to tell you, let's risk everything. Let's use a martingale. Let's risk all our capital. No, you have to be smart. Money management, that's capital management. We're going to manage our capital well to make sure we optimize our gains and, above all, stay secure. So how do we do it? If you look at this video, I turned 50 into 1,000 with 10-cent lots. Some might say, damn, that's huge. The reality is it's appropriate. Why? Because I know exactly by following the trend that the price isn't going to reverse. I catch it every time at the start of the trend. How do you recognize a trend? As I told you, it's thanks to Ichimoku. With Ichimoku, I just need to know that my price is above the cloud for us to be in a downtrend. Then I apply the second strategy, which is to position myself at the close of a candle. All right. And third, I just have to wait and apply my money management. And here actually we're using something that most traders don't really know about or most overlook, because the system forces you to scalp. Why? Because with scalping, you're actually putting your capital at risk every day. That is to say, on Monday, for example, you have 100 euros, and by Monday evening, you end up with 120 euros. All right. Well, on Tuesday, you're going to use those 120 euros again to grow them into 130. Speculation is what allows you to turn a 5 euro bill into a 50 euro bill and a 50 euro bill into 500. How does it work? By placing lots of 10 cents, in fact, to turn 50 into 1,000 euros, we're simply going to play with the bank's money. We're going to wait for our first position to grow. Okay, it grows. For example, I turn 50 into 100, and actually the 50 euros I earned, I'm going to keep them and not cash them out, but instead I'll make it so that the bank pays me that amount. What does that mean? It means that with the first position, let's say I turn 50 into 100. I've earned 50 euros, but I don't cash out those 50 euros right away because my position can still grow over time. And so it's the bank that gives me this money. But that means with these 50 euros, I'll be able to open another position at 10 cents. And that means, in fact, I'll be growing the second position with the money from the first. And that's what it means to properly apply your money management. It's not just about taking 1%, 2%. When you're sure to hit the mark every time, you can absolutely turn lead into gold. All right? So let me recap. You need 3 things to turn 50 euros into 100 euros. First, you need to properly identify the trend using Ichimoku. Secondly, position yourself like a sniper at the candle's close. Thirdly, use the bank's money through stock market speculation, which is truly unique to trading. The system is set up to screw us over with salaried work because it's 7 hours a day, 35 hours a week for 1,200 euros a month, and you always have to rush. The reality in trading, thanks to speculation, is that you just have to wait for your money to work. So it's completely the opposite of what the system tells us, right? And when you get interested in trading, it does everything to make things more complicated for you, to tell you, no, actually, you need 10,000 euros in capital. No, you have to be a genius. No, you have to be this, you have to be that. All of that is bullshit, okay? Most people don't know about Ichimoku, and that's a shame. Most traders miss out on Ichimoku because they follow the official institutions, the high financial circles who tell them, use Bollinger Bands, It's the most comprehensive tool that allows you to recognize the trend, to know when to enter, and especially when the trend reverses, so when to open and when to close a position. It's thanks to this that I was able to turn 50 euros into 1,000 euros in 6 days. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like and let me know in the comments if you want more videos like this and whether I gave enough explanations or not. I'm going to make more for you to go deeper into the topic. The idea actually is that thanks to this YouTube channel, you become absolute snipers at escaping the system, all right? So I'm trying to give you as much value as possible. Let me know in the comments if you liked it. Drop a like. If you're interested, there's a free training available in the link in the description. And for everyone else, I'll see you very soon in the lobby. Ciao.